version of chicken and pork adobo. So let's get started. So let's get our liempo, or pork belly. So I'm cutting it into serving portions. Keep in mind, once it cooks, it's going to shrink. So we want it to be just the right size for this particular recipe of ours. Let's go get our garlic. I'm gonna crush them. Set them aside. Then you take out your pan. Get our oil. Let's put our meat in. Once you hear that sizzling sound, it means that your temperature is right and it's hot enough for you to sear. But be careful though, you don't want it to be too hot and wait for your meat to scorch. And when it comes to searing, much like with frying, you don't want to overcrowd the pan with too many ingredients inside because you don't want the temperature to lower it down. And what will happen is they're gonna start cooking in their own juices, releasing their own juice. So we don't want that to happen. All right, so we got the perfect browning that we wanted. Look at that, thing of beauty. Okay, good enough? Let's put it aside. There's an option for you not to sear the meat, which is perfectly okay. Thing is, when you sear, you get the extra flavor that is coming out from the caramelization of the meat that you're searing. That's why we're doing it here. All right, so now I'm going to start to sear the chicken. Don't worry, we're not gonna cook the chicken through. We just want the coloring on the outside. We want the browning and the flavor that comes along with it. And then we're going to be later on putting them back into the pan to cook some more. So as you guys can see, we got the browning that we wanted from the chicken. It's nice and brown and a little bit crispy. All right, so with that, we set them aside. Now on to the next step. We're going to be using the same pan, garlic. We're gonna briefly saute them until they're aromatic. Let's get our bay leaves, or dahon ng laurel, as you call it in the Philippines. Smells so good, the gravy has thickened, and it's just so perfect, and it's time for us to plate it. Us Filipinos cannot have adobo without our white rice. Scoop out our adobo. If you ask any Filipino and let them taste your adobo, they'll tell you that it will taste like home, and that nothing can beat their mom's or their grandmother's adobo. My grandmother makes her adobo with ginger and eggs. It's very Chinese, but it's still oh so good. And then one last thing, garnish it. Now for the best part, it's time to taste it. So good. Perfect balance of the soy sauce and the acidity coming from the vinegar. It's just so good. The peppercorns, the slight hint